Alrighty, everyone. Welcome back to the Arizona Cardinals franchise. It is week 15, and we are on a hot streak right now at 8-5. And we're taking on the Houston Texans, who are 7-6. Let's see, they are currently at the top of their division, and they actually beat the Chiefs. I'm now just realizing that because they were 6-6 prior to this week. And they were playing the Chiefs, so they must have won. Obviously, that's how the math works. They beat the Chiefs 30-21. The Chiefs, mind you, only had one loss up to this game, and CJ Stroud didn't even look very good in it. It was just, I don't even know. Actually, I mean, they scored 3 touchdowns on the ground, and I guess the interception probably played a factor, but I have no idea how they won this game. To be honest, Mahomes, their whole team kind of outplayed. I don't know, but they won, so that's really what matters there, huh? Um, but they're gonna be taking on us this week. But we are in Houston, and we are on the final stretch of games here, the final 4 games of the season, to see who's gonna be making the playoffs here. You look at the standings just in the NFC. We are 3 games behind the 1 seed 49ers, so there's technically still a shot. We can win out, and if they lose out, we will be the, maybe not the 1 seed, but we will be well, it could be the 1 seed, but we would be the winner of the NFC West. Odds are probably not. Aside from that, though, you look at the wild card spot. We are currently in the 6th seed, and you got the Eagles at the 5 seed at 8-5. You have the Commanders at the 8th seed, 8-6. You have Dallas at 7-6 in the 9 seed in the North. Detroit's 8-5, currently at the top of their division, but the Vikings and Packers are both 7-6. And then the NFC South, Falcons and Tampa Bay are both 8-5. So a lot of teams within a game of each other here. And I mean, how many teams is that fighting for a wild card spot right now? That's 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not saying that word. Not saying the rest of that. I don't want to say it. 8. Like 8 teams. Now, obviously, some of these teams are fighting for their division still. The whole NFC East is pretty much still fighting for the crown there. The NFC North, those top 3 are fighting, and the NFC South, those top 2 are fighting. And like I said, we have a long shot to make it, but it's just going to be very difficult. But when it gets down to it, I mean, you're still fighting for a playoff spot regardless. So if you don't win the division, you still want to at least make the wild card. And when there's that many teams, I mean, yes, I think it's 7 teams right now that are at a record within 1 game of each other to make 7 or 8 teams to make the playoffs, maybe even 9 if I'm miscounting. But aside from that, we see that the Giants do get a win over the Commanders. 1-point victory, taking a page out of the Niners book over us, winning by a point versus their division rivals. Let's hop into the weekly strategy, though. It's interesting they're giving us all these different things. Like, no, let's stick with our normal 4 here. That's fine. We'll go ahead and add the game shield on. Oops, wrong thing. And I'm thinking we will, let's see. Maybe we do pitch plays. Let's try out a pitch play. That might be an option. We'll see. I don't know. I'm going to test some things out with that. Aside from that, we are going to... I can't just change it there. Okay, we're going to have full pads, everybody, as per the new rule for our league here. Trying to get more injuries for us because the CPU's seeing a lot more. Now, I'm deciding the full pads, Mac Wilson and Cody Simon, although it is not necessary whenever it's like the half. The moderate, that's kind of up to discretion. For me, I'm rocking with it. I want to try to get more injuries. As weird as that sounds, I'd like to see that just so it's more balanced and more realistic. And James Conner, actually, unrelated, has a turf toe injury here and will be out this week. That's a big loss, but also big news for Trey Benson. Defensively, Kyton Crawford's ACL sprain, I'm pretty sure he's on the practice squad, so not that big of a deal. But James Conner's injury is going to be interesting. Do get Jordan Birch upgrade, which is lovely to see. We're still developing him. He hasn't really played at all, but he's progressing pretty decently here. And I'm hoping he can take the edge spot from Baron Browning or Josh Sweat at some point. Gillikin, probably just power. Just keep booting that thing as far as you can. 1 accuracy, that's fine too. He already has a really good leg. And then Clayton Tune, our 3rd string quarterback, might not make the roster next year. Just be a better quarterback, really. That's all I ask, right? Aside from that, scouting, there's nothing too crazy to note. I narrowed down a tiny bit. Nothing like notable, obviously, but you know, that's okay. Not a big deal. Although we do see Charles Davis commenting on Sam Reeves throwing out the first pitch at a minor league baseball game and got 90 miles per hour on the radar gun. So maybe we take a quick gander at Sam Reeves. Who is Sam Reeves? I actually don't know. You'd assume it would be a quarterback, right? Who the hell is Sam Reeves? I have no idea. I mean, we'll check by. I mean, he's not on the top players list, so. Oh, God, I just completely missed him. He's a quarterback, which makes sense. That's what I figured he should be. He does have great to good throw power, so it's not shocking. Again, not super interested in a quarterback. Maybe just a backup. Maybe a guy that we could develop eventually, take over the reins of Kyler. I don't know, though. Not sure. Let's check out the weekly recap. And here we are. Here's last week's game. Took on the Rams, our division rival, and James Conner obviously broke off a big touchdown run. That one, we ended up winning by 14, but it was closer throughout the first half. Steelers-Ravens, really important game for the AFC North. 9-3 Ravens, 7-5 Steelers. We see Derrick Henry bounce off some tacklers, looking like the Steelers' defense in real life this year. And they win 24-7. Aaron Rodgers looked really bad in that game. But yeah, not great to see, but realistic at this point. Eagles Chargers 7-5 Eagles, 6-6 Chargers as of last week. Going head to head, you see play action. Jalen Hurts, plenty of time, throws a pass to Devonta Smith, and he breaks a couple tackles and takes it all the way. A shootout between him and Herbert. 38 touchdowns, 38 points to 34. Hurts had 5 touchdowns, though. Not 38, not quite that many, but he did have a lot in 5 touchdowns, winning that one by 4. Which that's an important game for the Eagles to win there. Keeps them in the top wildcard spot and keeps them a game and a half behind the New York Giants. So that is very, very important. But other than that, let's head right into the game. Just kidding. Let me double check something real quick. I forget if I did this or not already. I did. I'm so proud of myself. I finally remembered to set the kick returners, and I decided that Kytrell Clark and Amari DiMarcado are going to be the main two return men, and Trey Benson's no longer going to be a main returner. I want him more incorporated on offense, because he's been really good. And we are here in NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas today. And here comes Houston's team here. And that is a pretty cool bull animatronic there. We are coming in at 8-5 right now. The Texans, however, sitting at a record of 7-6. So, big game for both teams. Texans trying to keep the lead of their division, and then Cardinals trying to stay into this tight division race, or a tight conference race, I should say. But let's take a look at what the Texans are working with. They have C.J. Stroud. He is very good. Still learning and improving at only 23 years old, but he's a really good quarterback with a pretty solid group here at running back. They kept 5 running backs for some reason. Joe Mixon, Nick Chubb, Dameon Pierce, Gus Edwards, all really powerful guys, and then Woody Marks as well. Kyrie Blasting games here. Receivers, a pretty solid group too. Nico Collins, he's really going to be hard to defend. Tank Dell's also very solid. Also Christian Kirk as a 3, and then you add Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel, 2 rookie receivers into the mix. It's a pretty solid group here, along with Dalton Schultz at tight end. The O-line is where the questions are. They're missing Cam Robinson at left tackle, but I think they're okay with that because they have Arianti Ursary, the rookie, starting. So they're going to see what they have with him. Laken Tomlinson at left guard, Jarrett Patterson at center, Titus Howard at right guard, and Trent Brown, their best lineman, at right tackle. On defense, though, they have a really strong group. Will Anderson is insanely good, 91 overall here. Daniil Hunter on the other side, 92 overall, still killing it. On the interior, not the strongest group, though. Faloranzo Fadukasi and Sheldon Rankins, Tim Settle as well. Not the best group. At Sam, they have Henry To'oto'o, Aziz Al-Shire, and EJ Speed. So, you know, not amazing, but not terrible. And then at corner, they have a pretty strong trio here with Derek Stingley Jr., who's really good, Kamari Lassiter, and Rasul Douglas rounding out those 3. Jalen Petrie at free safety, CJ Gardner-Johnson and Jimmy Ward both here at strong safety. We'll probably see a bit of both. And Kaimi Fairbairn and Tommy Townsend are the kickers today. They seem like mostly a healthy team. We'll see how they do today. And we do see down below, Atlanta versus Tampa Bay. Big win for Atlanta. Takes the lead of the division, keeps the lead of the division. That's a huge one over the Bucs, who dropped to 8-6. And we play the Falcons next week. By the way, that's going to be a big game, but we got to focus on this one here, even though this is not in the conference. Every win matters here in this really tight division race. Can't afford to lose. And here's going to be a handoff for Joe Mixon to start, and he's going to get maybe a yard. Baron Browning there on the play. And, I mean, they have a lot of weapons here. It's going to be a big challenge for the defense here. Another handoff. Mixon finding another yard. Josh Sweat on the play. And that brings it to 3rd and 8. From the 32. Stroud drops back to pass. He's looking short. Nico Collins going to turn upfield. Sweet gets stuck on a blocker. Gets the first down. Keeps the drive alive. Uh-oh. And here's going to be a pass. Screaming up the middle. It's Garrett Williams on the blitz. Fumble. Ball's on the ground. Picked up. Recovered. Cody Simon breaks a tackle. Oh, my goodness. What just happened? Wow. And welcome back, Cody Simon, who was out last week with an injury. Showing up big with the return for a touchdown. Obviously, Garrett Williams rushed up the middle on the blitz of the corner from the corner spot and forced the fumble on the sack. But what a start for the defense. Cody Simon scores his first touchdown of his career. Here's a big return, though. It's Jalen Knoll, I believe, to the 33. Not as big as I thought. There's a lot of room, but still a solid return. Obviously, they're going to look to erase that turnover from their memories and get back to work and pretend it never happened. Which is what you have to do here. I mean, especially for C.J. Stroud, you got to just forget that you turned over the football like that and get back to work. And they're going to start off another handoff. Joe Mixon, only a yard again. Really not able to find a ton on the ground here so far. I don't like how much Shaquem Davis Gaither is in here. Here's going to be a play action. That caught me. He delivers a beautiful ball to Nico Collins, juking out a man. Gets out to the 43. Can I check something? I don't feel like Cody Simon is in where I want him to be. He's at sub linebacker. I just feel like he's not playing anywhere. But, I mean, I don't know. We'll keep an eye on it. Now he's got to come in and replace Gaither. Here's gonna be a run. Joe Mixon on the play. All right, let's go ahead and replace. Never mind. I gotta choose a different formation. Uh-oh. Going pass here. He's going deep down the post. Tank Dell with the catch, the 17. It's a good play there. Can we get Cody Simon's in now? And this one going to be a pass again. Quick one. Nico Collins getting a lot of work today already. Gain of 3. Let me go in real quick because I just want to make this more of a permanent change than anything. Our will needs to be, not Mac. Needs to be Cody Simon. There we go. Yeah, they're definitely making it a point to get Nico Collins involved. I mean, he's a big mismatch. He's their best offensive player. Makes sense. And they're going to get pressured, sacked. It's Calais Campbell finishing the play, but kind of just absolutely collapsed the pocket from everyone there on the line. Brings up a 3rd and 12. Stroud takes the snap, looking, finds Dalton Schultz. Going to be just shy of the first down. Budda Baker at the tackle, and it looks like they are going to go for it. I don't hate the call. I mean, 4th and 1 from the 7 here. I mean, it's not a bad idea. And Mixon in the backfield. They're going pass quick out to Nico Collins again. And I feel like Budda Baker easily could have had a hand up there, but he did not make a play on the football. And Nico Collins on these quick out routes are killing us, actually. 1st and goal from the 4 now. Here's a run up the middle. Blasting Game's going to get it and gets the touchdown. Puts the Texans up on the board. Did not expect the fullback run, even though Blasting Game is a very solid athlete. I just figured they were going to keep going with Joe Mixon. They obviously catch me off guard there. Catch the rest of the defense off guard. And they get this game tire. And they put up a good drive. Definitely proven that they don't need to worry about that turnover. And they definitely forgot about it. But here comes our offense for the first time this game. Kyler, 2,800 yards, 58 completion percentage, 22 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Not having a terrible season. Some accuracy concerns are here. But the big thing is he's not turning over the football a ton. And he's also very efficient on the ground. And that's really what he offers. Trey Benson with the run here today gets 2 yards. He is the lead back here today. Last week, 5 carries for 93 yards. He had that big, I think it was an 80-yarder, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But, yeah, we're looking at no James Conner today. So Trey Benson, I should say, has the ability here to be the lead back and maybe try to win the backfield. Here's a big play. Marvin Harrison Jr. up the seam on the post route. Goes 72-yard touchdown. I love that RPO play. It's probably a little cheesy, so I'm not going to use it anymore this game. I got that's one I'm going to put a mental lock on. Like, hey, this is a one-time per game type thing. Because that play tends to work pretty well. If that post gets open, it's a big play. Does not matter. And we quickly score there. Quick answer, putting our defense back on the field. Kind of a little concerning on our end, though, because you don't want to have to fatigue your defense too much too quickly, especially after that long drive that they had to go up against. But there's going to be a great play. Walter Nolan with the pursuit on Joe Mixon. Loss of 4. And he's just been a beast. He had a little bit of a quiet couple performances coming back from... he had an injury during the game, but he was okay. And there's going to be a big throw. Whoa. Incomplete. Garrett Williams on the play. Tried to volleyball it over to Nico Collins. If he would have caught that, I would have freaked out a little bit. Because how in the hell is that? How does that work? I don't know, but it's fine. 3rd and 14 now. Stroud looking for something, but they ran the most basic curl concept ever. Everyone just did a 5-yard hitch route on a 3rd and long. That is a terrible play call. And I don't know what their offensive coordinator is thinking, but they're going to be punting the ball back to us. And our defense is very happy to get off the field there and get some rest here. And under a minute to go in the first quarter. Here's a handoff. Trey Benson trying to find a hole. Only gets a yard. 2nd and 9 now. And this one, Trey Benson following the blockers, gets a nice gain of 7. Sets us up for a 3rd and 2 after the first quarter ends here. As we are up 14-7. And we have the ball and we are driving. I'm still very confused with their decision to run that hitch play on offense. It was a weird call. Oh, this is new. This is part of the pitch plays I see. Fullback dive, fake, halfback. That's not what we're running. We're running just the actual toss, but we'll see. 3rd and 2. This one's going to be a toss out to Trey Benson. Is able to speed past Will Anderson and makes the first down. Petrie with the tackle. And that is something you get with him versus James Conner. James Conner, very powerful runner, but he's not very speedy. And here's Trey Benson again. Nice juke down to the 32. Yeah, that is what you get from him. Ooh, this is interesting. Halfback pass. I think we're going to run that a little bit later because this is a little bit of a, I think, too close to the end zone to run that play. but I like it. I like that idea. Getting a little trickery in here. We do have or what am I saying? I forgot his name. I just said it earlier. DeMarcado's in. We're gonna go read option here. Kyler running up the middle. Gets down to the 16. Nice gain for a first down. And sets us up first down inside the red zone now. We're gonna go quick out to Trey McBride, but they're all over it. It's a good play there. Second down and 10. Second and 10, looking pass, going Trey McBride deep down the field in the end zone. Touchdown, Trey McBride. Azeez Al-Shire can't stay in coverage. And the tight end makes the touchdown catch. Great throw from Kyler. He's had some struggles on throws like that. But that one is a good one. That was a good ball. And that gives us a 14-point lead now, with 8 minutes left to go in the half. See if the Texans can respond, but you got to have better play calling than they had in that last drive, because that was a very questionable third down call. They've also been doing a lot of run, pass, reminding me of my Steelers the past like 5 years, not counting this year, because our offense for some reason is carrying the team. I don't understand that still, but besides the point. Here's a return up the middle. Big hit, though. That was Christian Kirk. Cody Simon on the big hit. Tank Dell's having a great season. Almost 1,000 yards, has 12 touchdowns already. He's having an absolutely electric season. Obviously, in real life, he's injured, out for the entire season. Even before the season started, because I forget, was that a late injury last year? I can't fully remember, but he was doing really solid. Here's a run again. Joe Mixon trying to make something happen. Loses a yard. Jalen Thompson with the play. Again, you have to question, are they really forcing the first down run? It's too much. Do they need to maybe switch it up? Run some play action. Run some passes on first down. Here's a pass. Joe Mixon out of the backfield. That's a way to get him involved for a big play to the 49 on the other side of the 50. Yeah, that was a good one. He got wide open there against the zone. You know exactly what route that was. It's a halfback red zone route. They're going to Joe Mixon again out of the backfield this time. Browning chases him down, gain of 4. And they may be onto something here with the pass out of the backfield to Joe Mixon. Maybe that will help open up the run game. 2nd and 6. Here's a pass again. Gonna get Tank Dell. No, it's Christian Kirk. Broken tackle. Will Johnson tackles him, but it's too late. He's in the end zone for the touchdown. But yeah, that's not a great coverage play. I believe that was Garrett Williams. Yeah, not great. Not great. Don't like seeing that. But that's all right. Texans obviously needed an answer there. DeMarcado going to the 32-yard line. Solid return. Obviously, Marvin Harrison off to a great start. If you have him in fantasy this week, you're already happy. 1 catch, 72 yards, and the touchdown. That's already started him off as a pretty good play, but we're obviously going to look to get him more involved still. And here's a play action on first down. Going out to McBride again. Nice catch. And the play action boot. To the 47 he goes. We obviously want to get him involved a lot today. He's a very important piece of this offense, and he needs to be a factor. Here's another one. Tight end screen. McBride getting a block. Another first down. And he is currently all over the place on this field. First down from the 42. And this one going to be a handoff. Benson. Nice spin move for a first down. And right now, this Texans defense has no answer for this Cardinals offense. Play action again. A little bit late to throw anything here. We're going to just run with Kyler. He's got blocks. Kyler Murray's going to go into the end zone. Touchdown, 32-yarder for Kyler Murray. I mean, that's just very bad play from the Texans defense to not have somebody ready to stop Kyler Murray running it. But we're going to have a quick score here, and the Texans now just have the pressure on them to do something on defense, and they have yet to do anything. But offensively, they are capable of scoring. That's for sure. They've shown that. But they can't win a shootout without some defensive help. Nico Collins having a solid season, nowhere near the season Tank Dell is having, but still a good year. He was targeted heavily on the first drive. That led to a touchdown second drive that led to a touchdown. Here's going to be a RPO run. Joe Mixon gets stopped again. And again, I mean, they continue to run on first downs, and it's just so predictable. Now they're sending him out wide. Mixon, that is. Looking, pass. Strouger's going to run it himself. Keeps it, takes a shot. Gets 5, though. So they'll definitely take that. Makes this a more manageable 3rd and 5. And going past it, Walter Nolan, man, blew right past the center and the guard there, and there's no chance for Stroud to do anything. And they're going to go ahead and punt this one. Townsend kicking it to Kytrell Clark. Nice juke. Kytrell Clark, look at the space. He's juking again, and he's down to the 38. What a return for the corner. And he's a beast on the return game. That's why I was like, I'm okay with Trey Benson being the main guy right now. And then obviously, 1-2 punch with Connor because DeMarcado and Kytrell Clark can be a solid duo on the return game. And here's Tip Ryman getting a catch, breaking a tackle. Gain of 9. That's going to be 2-minute warning there. This Texans defense struggling on all accounts here. 28-14. And with how the Cardinals have been moving, it might as well be 35-14 here if the pattern continues. Second down and 1. Going out to Mike Wilson. Nice catch to the 25. Inbounds, they're going to say, so clock's still running. That's his first catch of the day. He's been a pretty solid weapon for us. Here's Trey Benson trying to find a hole. Finds a yard, and that's all. Second and 9. And it's going to be an RPO. This one, Trey McBride breaking a tackle, first down. His 4th catch on the game. And still no timeouts from either team, as the clock now below 50 seconds in the half. And here's Benson on the run, gain of 7. And now going down to the 20-second mark. No timeouts used yet. Here's going to be a read option. Kyler Murray for his 2nd touchdown on the game. On the ground, that is. His 9th on the season. And 35 points in the first half for this Cardinals offense. It's insane. They look unstoppable currently. Obviously, not 35 points for the offense. That would be 28 for the offense, with the first score being a defensive touchdown. This offense has yet to be stopped. And here's a great return. Christian Kirk to the 44. Ryland had to make the tackle. I mean, that at least gives the Texans something here. maybe with 3 timeouts, 11 seconds. Realistically, not going to use all those timeouts, but can maybe get some yardage to get a field goal. And that one took 5 seconds. They get a timeout there. Looks like they are going Hail Mary, though. If I were them, I would try to go quick over the middle. You know, it's around the 40. Give Kaimi Fairbairn a chance. Stroud looking deep, just going to take a shot. It's in the end zone. Can someone bring it down? And no, it falls to the ground incomplete. As we head into halftime, 35-14 Cardinals dominating. But they can continue this when they get the ball after halftime. But here's the halftime report first. So we see in the Giants-Commanders game, Giants 9-4, Commanders 8-5 at this point. Big run up the middle. Scattaboo. Nice juke. And they win. 29-28. 29-28, excuse me. Dart threw no touchdowns, but it's because Scattaboo had a great game. And we saw this one as well. Falcons 8-5. Buccaneers 8-5. Huge divisional matchup, potentially for the division. Bijan taken outside, breaks a tackle, breaks another one, and then continues breaking tackles. How is he doing this? Insanity. Michael Penix had 4 touchdowns passing. 42-23. Falcons look really solid heading into next week where they'll play us. Then Eagles, who are 8-5, taking on the 3-10 Raiders. Eagles obviously still fighting for the division. And Hurts at the 13, gonna take a deep shot down to Devontae Smith. And at halftime, they're up 14-0. Hurts 2 passing touchdowns today. And it seems like Devontae Smith's having a great year. I see him every time in these getting touchdowns. And here is the playoff picture. We see there Cardinals currently at the 6th seed as it stands. And the Bucs at the 7th seed. Just talking about the games that we did see. Eagles at the 5 seed. But there are obviously a lot of teams in the hunt. And we will see how they play out here. But so far, Kyler Murray, 4 touchdown passes, 7 for 8, 195, 4 touchdowns. Stroud has been solid too, 10 for 12, 167, 1 touchdown. But obviously, Cardinals offense has been electric. And they get a chance here to maybe put the nail in the coffin here. And DeMarcado breaking a tackle but gets hit down at the 24. Texans need something here. Need something big. They need a stop, really. That's really all they need is a stop. It's going to be a read. Holy shit, Kyler. Look at the speed he had coming out of the break there. Kyler breaking a tackle down to the 41. Gain of 17 on that read option pitch. He obviously having a great rushing game too. 4 carries, 74 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Is incredible. Yeah, he's having a gret game. The first down from the 41 now. It's be a toss out to Trey Benson. It's going to be intercepted. We tried getting cute. And they get a big play there. Bullock, Caden Bullock with the interception. Yeah, I wanted to do that play. Maybe I think I did it a little bit too soon in that drive, but we got a little too cute, and we paid the price. Here's going to be a run. Joe Mixon now takes a shot. Gets 3. But obviously, this is a huge opportunity for the Texans to narrow this deficit again. And play action there. And it's going to be Stroud getting sacked. Walter Nolan just kind of getting a trip sack there. Just carries him down on his way to the ground. His second on the game. And 3rd and 10 now. Pressure. Stroud throwing it in coverage as Nico Collins, who gets the first down. Josh Sweat was all over him, but got confused because he was covering Nico Collins and kind of overplayed. And then there's going to be a handoff now. for Mr. Joe Mixon. Big truck through, but loss of 2. Absolutely nothing for Joe Mixon on the ground today. 2nd and 12. And that's part of why, you kind of question the continuous runs on first down. Here's a throw. Christian Kirk to the 17. But yeah, with those continuous runs, you have to look at this, this offensive decision making. And there's gonna be an interception. Josh Sweat with his 2nd on his season. Oh my goodness. Stroud absolutely making a mistake. Josh Sweat again in coverage. Who would have thought he had 2 in his season? Not me. But he's covering Nico Collins again. He gave up the first one for a first down. This time he said, I got this one, coach. Let me at him. And he makes the play. Incredible from Josh Sweat. He's turned it up in this back end of the year here. He was really quiet. He was doing all right in the first 10 weeks. But he really has turned it up this past couple weeks. He has been phenomenal. And obviously a big play there. Taking the ball right back after the Trey Benson interception. Last drive. Here's going to be a handoff. Trey Benson gets 2 yards on the ground. Second and 8 from the 16. And here's going to be another handoff. Benson just going to get tackled. And that one is Rankins. It's a nice play. Loss of a yard. Lost 3 yards, I should say. And that sets up a 3rd and 11. From the 14. Looking pass. Going over the middle. Is going to be caught. Zay Jones with a lot of contact after the hit, but nice play. Kyler Murray over 3,000 yards on the season at this point. Passing, that is. He has about over 700 rushing, I believe. Got an RPO here going out. Zay Jones again. It's a risky one, especially with Stingley covering him, but I thought maybe we had a chance. We did not. I was wrong. 2nd and 10. Handoff. Benson gets 3. Rankins again with the tackle. He's trying to get involved here, trying to make a stand here. Doesn't want to see this team go down by 28 with only 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter here. Counting still. It's a rough hole to dig themselves out of. Here's going to be a quick one. Tip Ryman breaking a tackle. It's tackled short down at the 35. So 4th and 1. We will punt. We could be aggressive and go for it, but we're at our own 35. Let's just play the field position here. Punt it back to Christian Kirk. Big hit from Michael Walker, I believe. And D'Amico Ryan's telling his defense, hey, good job. You got them off the field. You did your job. Now offense, go out there. And you need to put up some points. You can't make these mistakes and keep shooting yourselves in the foot. You keep doing that, not going to win the football game. Here's Joe Mixon again on a first down. Nowhere to go. We didn't even blitz that time, and we knew. We knew we were going to stop their freaking run game. It's impressive that they just are so adamant about running the football with Joe Mixon on first down, and it just continuously not working. Here's a throw. Christian Kirk, gain of 9, but I guess, to be fair, it works enough because they end up getting the run or the run after catch ability from one of his receivers. Here's going to be a QB sneak, and Stroud gets it. Keeping it on the ground there. Under a minute and a half now to play here in the 3rd quarter. Texans need to start thinking about some chunk plays here. Here's another handoff. First down, Mixon. Maybe his first or his best gain on first down all game long. Gain of 6. 2nd and 4. And it's going to be a pass. Stroud going quick. Schultz can't bring it in. Buda Baker on the play. Brings up a 3rd and 4. Huge down right here. So you got to get this. Maybe even 4 down territory. I don't know. And he's going to go out to Schultz. He's going to turn back upfield. He does. Gets the first down. Keeps him alive on this drive. Stroud over 200 passing on the day with that one. Maybe the last play of the 3rd quarter. And this one, Stroud looking quick to Nico Collins for 4. And that will bring us to the 4th quarter. Texans still down 35-14. For whole 3rd quarter, no points put up on the board. So, I mean, turnovers, main reason why, but obviously Texans defense just got a natural 3 and out last drive. So they're still waiting for their offense to pay them back here with some points. 2nd and 6. Stroud looking for somebody deep. It's going to be a deep pass. Nico Collins not there. It's Take Dell. But it was Buda Baker, Max Melton on the play. 3rd and 6. Stroud going screen here. Out to Joe Mixon. Fighting. Only gets a yard. I think this is absolutely go for it territory, and they agree. I think you have to. You can't afford to punt it back. You really can't. You need 3 touchdowns to tie it. So you need all the time you can get here. And here's going to be Stroud looking for something. He's going to lob this one up. It's going to be intercepted. Max Melton breaks the tackle. Max Melton not going down. Max Melton taking it all the way back for a pick 6. And that's going to probably close this one out. The Texans absolutely just falling apart here today. And I don't know if that's a just testament to how good the NFC is this season, because I mean, you look, the Texans 7-6, right? They're only a game behind the Cardinals here. But wow, they are not looking like it. They look like they look like how the Rams looked last week against this Cardinals team. And they were 4-8 going against them, now 4-9. But I mean, Texans at least look like they're going to win their division without any real problems, because the rest of their division isn't really doing much. But still, it doesn't bode well for your playoff success. You have to play against better teams in your own division. In the AFC South, here's going to be a pass out to Joe Mixon. He steps out of bounds, losing a yard. Second and 11 now. I mean, you're down 28 points. You still have a shot. It's just a long shot. But, you know, they're going to play action here, looking quick. Dalton Schultz trying to get some positive plays going, but you do have to take some shots downfield, but successful ones, not just shots in general. Because that lob to Dalton Schultz was a very questionable one, and it did not work at all. 3rd and 2, motioning. Mixon out wide. He's going quick. Oh, it's not going to be caught. Tank Dell can't bring it in. And you hear the Texans fans booing. Not happy with how their team has performed today. And they're going to go for it on 4th and 2, because you kind of have to here. They're going to hand it off Joe Mixon. And, of course, the story of this game is he can't run the football. And they live and die by it for some reason. I don't understand the play calling here. I really don't. We're going to take Kyler out. We're going to take Trey out. Can we get like an actual tight end in there? I guess not right now, but that's fine. Trey Benson with the carry. Takes a shot, nothing there. We're at 2 clock here. Not really much of a purpose to not. We're going to actually throw this one here. Going actually deep to Marvin Harrison, who just can't catch it. I don't think he was expecting to be so open on that one from Brissett. We're just going to go back to running it here. Benson getting clobbered. No gain. We'll take 3. And Ryland knocks this one through. 45-14. This is, yeah, I mean, this one's pretty much on ice at this point. We're going through the motions. Texans obviously could still try, I guess. They, you know, they just have had nothing go well for them in the past. I mean, past quarter, really, it's been rough. I mean, they got that stop coming out of halftime, the interception. You thought, okay, this is their chance. Then they just turned it right back, and they're going to run it with Joe Mixon. They get 7. Don't know how aggressive they're going to be. Clearly, they just ran the football down. What, that 31 points? They're not super worried about scoring necessarily, but they're going to go pass here. Stroud looking to almost throw another one to Max Melton, but he drops that one. Yeah, Stroud is having a horrid day, forcing some throws that he really shouldn't be. He's going a deep shot. Tank Dell can't break the play. It's Jalen Thompson there. Just absolute locks on defense here. Yeah, I mean, a very impressive day from our defense, who has notably been pretty bad most of the year. Oh, we jumped offside. Baron Browning. It's all right. You can do that in this situation, but don't make this a habit, because in bigger games against teams that are going to be more of a problem, can't have those types of plays kill us, you know. 5.5 minutes left. We're up 31. Not the biggest deal in the world, to be real. Going play action here. Gonna get quick one. Dalton Schultz over the middle, breaking a tackle. To the 46 he goes. And I'd like to get Buddha out. Oh, hold on. And they're going to go open. Kirk is open, breaks a tackle, and he's going to go down to the 4-yard line. First and goal from the 4. And they're going to hand this one off. Joe Mixon gets a yard. Baron Browning on the tackle. I mean, they're really just looking for some pride points here, just to put up some points, make themselves feel a little bit better. This one looking like it's going to be a pass. And it is. Stroud looking for something, can't find anything, takes a shot. Mac Wilson came barreling down, tried to get it out last second, but not. Took the shot, but it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 3. .330 left on the clock. Looking screen. Joe Mixon. No, it's Nick Chubb who can't get there. It's going to be Cody Sign with the tackle. 4th and goal from the 1. As insanity that this offense just can't seem to make something happen here. So they're going to go for it. 4th and goal from the 1. Just why not? Stroud looking for something, and of course can't find anything. Another sack. Calais Campbell in on that one, sandwiching with somebody else there. Who was that? Was that one? It was Nolan. Of course it was. The GOAT. Yeah, I mean, this has just been all day for them. They have not really had much success. Obviously, they get 14 points on the board, had some solid drives in there, but just couldn't be consistent with it. Got 4 yards there. And we're really just running this clock out now. One more play before the 2-minute warning. Benson. Oh, my goodness. Trey Benson breaking a big run again. Oh, this is insanity. Trey Benson. He's going to be smart here. Go down at the 1. Really tempted to just run it in, but we're not going to take more time to get our guys potentially injured. Just take a knee. I mean, they shouldn't take any timeouts, right? You would assume not. Oh, they automatically took up. Okay, maybe that's just for these, but now we have to sit here, unfortunately, because it won't just auto run it down further. That's fine. But yeah, an incredible victory for us today. Just absolutely dominating the Texans outside of, like, obviously the 1 interception and then the 2 good drives that they had. Like, that was it. That was all they had on us. Another knee from Jacoby. And, I mean, that's going to be it. We don't really have to sit here. I don't really want to sit through this. Let's take a timeout real quick and just... We're in a sim because it's not really point in sitting through. But a huge win, 45-14. Cardinals staying hot here, going to 9-5. 4-game winning streak. Texans, after beating the Chiefs, somehow getting destroyed by the Cardinals. So does that mean we're better than the Chiefs? Maybe. It's possible. Yeah, it was like everything went right for us today. This is like what I would think the peak of our team could be. Insane game. Obviously, Kyler Murray had only 11 passes, but he was pretty great throughout all of them. 9 for 11. 156 yards, 2 touchdowns. Obviously, Benson threw an interception, that was just a fun play to try. Didn't work out. Trey Benson, that run at the end really boosted his stats, but great game. Kyler Murray, obviously 4 for 74, 2 touchdowns through the air as well. It's great. Trey was great. Marvin Harrison only got that 172-yard catch to start off our first offensive drive. A couple catches throughout otherwise. O-line was great. Walter Nolan was insane today. Defense overall was really good. Max Bellton with the pick 6. Josh Sweat somehow had an interception. Garrett Williams with the forced fumble recovery from Cody Simon with the touchdown on the end of that. It was great. It was a great game for us. Just a dominant victory. Garrett Williams gets an upgrade. Let's get his man upgraded, I'd say. I'd like that. 2-man. Solid. But that will be it. Huge game. Huge victory. I would say right now that puts us at the 5 seed. And I would say, I mean, we're probably on a good path to make the playoffs here after after being unsure. Pretty interesting schedule left. It's Falcons, Bengals, and Rams again. So it's very doable. But aside from that, thank you all for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Have a good one. Bye-bye.